General Hospital spoilers reveal that the truth about Gio is not just a hidden secret, it's a storm that could destroy everything. When the truth about the person who raised Gio is revealed, the shock ripples through Port Charles. The person who has cared for and raised Gio for the past 2 decades is none other than Lois's sister. This not only completely alters the way Brooklyn views her past, but also makes her realize that her mother orchestrated everything, handing her son over to a close relative without ever giving her the chance to know the truth. Brooklyn feels betrayed in the deepest way possible. Over the years, she had believed that her son had been given to a strange family, that he had a good life, and that the decision to give him up was the best for everyone. But the truth is so different. Gio had been right within the family circle, close to Port Charles, and Lois kept this secret for all these years. But this truth doesn't just affect Brooklyn, it sets off a chain reaction that pulls everyone involved into a whirlwind of tension. As Joe's identity begins to be at risk of exposure, Port Charles becomes a stage for schemes, angry confrontations, and relationships that may never heal again. The truth about Gio may have been hidden for over 2 decades, but now, it is in Lulu Spencer's hands, and she has no intention of staying silent. Lulu has never been particularly friendly with Brooklyn, and when she accidentally uncovers this secret, it hands her a weapon Brooklyn never wanted her to have. Lulu discovered everything while going through Martin Gray's files, looking for information related to her daughter. But instead, she found records about Brooklyn's pregnancy, a secret that could turn everything upside down. From that moment, Lulu was faced with 2 choices: stay silent and let Brooklyn decide the fate of this secret, or reveal everything to Dante, causing the truth to come out uncontrollably. And Lulu chose to confront. She believes Dante deserves to know the truth. He's had a child all these years without knowing, and Lulu cannot accept this secret staying hidden. But Brooklyn doesn't see it that way. To her, this truth could destroy the lives of so many people. The tension between the 2 women escalates, and each confrontation only makes the situation explode further. Lulu wants to protect Dante, wants to make sure he knows everything before it's too late. But Brooklyn knows that this truth could hurt Gio in ways no one can predict. No one is really thinking about Joe's feelings when this truth is revealed. He has lived his whole life with a family he believed was his blood, only to suddenly find out that it was all a lie. Brooklyn might be his biological mother, but that doesn't mean he will easily accept her. If Gio discovers the truth abruptly, he might feel betrayed his entire life. He could be angry at Lois for hiding the truth from him, at Brooklyn for abandoning him, and even at Dante for not knowing he existed. A huge shock is coming, and Joe's emotions will play a major role in whether this truth will heal or destroy everything. Dante might also find it hard to accept that he's had a child all these years without knowing about it. He could feel betrayed by those closest to him, Brooklyn, Lois, and even Lulu for keeping this secret and not telling him right away. When the truth is on the verge of being exposed, an unavoidable explosion is coming. Tensions that have been building for over 2 decades are about to reach their peak, and Port Charles is about to witness one of the most shocking revelations in its history. If Lulu tells Dante before Brooklyn has the chance to reveal it herself, Brooklyn could lose everything. Not just her relationship with Gio, but also Dante's trust, family connections, and even her reputation. Lois won't be able to escape the consequences either. If the truth comes to light, she may become the focal point of both Brooklyn's and Joe's anger. She did what she thought was right, but can she justify her actions when everything falls apart? Lois has kept this secret for too long, and now she can't hide it anymore. As clues about Joe's true identity begin to surface, and as questions dig deeper into the past, she knows it's time to produce the evidence to control the story before it's exposed in a way she doesn't want. But what Lois is about to reveal isn't just a truth about adoption, it's a shock that could completely destroy everything she has worked to protect for over 20 years. Gio was not given to a strange family, as Brooklyn thought. The woman who raised him, cared for him, and loved him all these years is none other than Lois's sister, who everyone believed had been dead for a long time. This is not just a shock for Brooklyn, it's a horrific truth for all of Port Charles. If Lois's sister is truly alive, why did she choose to hide? Why did she never reveal her existence, or Joe's true identity? And most importantly, why did Lois decide to keep all of this a secret? Lois knows that once this truth is exposed, it could bring down everything she's tried to protect. Brooklyn will never forgive her for lying all these years. Gio may feel betrayed when he finds out the woman he believed to be his real mother is not the one who gave birth to him. Dante may never look at Lois the same way again when he discovers she's hidden the existence of his son. This story affects not just Lois, but everyone involved, and that's why she needs to control the situation before it gets out of hand. But Lois isn't the only one who knows about this secret. Lulu has also started piecing the clues together, and she's very close to the truth. Lulu has never been Brooklyn's friend, but when she stumbles upon Brooklyn's pregnancy documents in Martin Gray's briefcase, she realizes she's holding something that could change many lives. Lulu believes Dante has the right to know that he has a son he never knew about. She doesn't care what Lois's intentions are, nor does she care if Brooklyn wants to keep this secret. Lulu has decided she will be the one to expose the truth. Lois realizes time is running out. If Lulu truly reveals everything before she can control the story, everything will become an uncontrollable nightmare. She needs to act fast, making sure that when the truth is revealed, it's presented in the most favorable way for her and her family. But it's not easy when so many people could be hurt by this truth. Brooklyn, who has spent her whole life believing her son was adopted by a strange family, must now face the reality that her mother decided everything on her own. Lois didn't just hide the truth, she completely controlled the fate of the child Brooklyn gave birth to. The feeling of betrayal rises within Brooklyn, and for the first time in her life, she doesn't know who to trust. Can she forgive Lois? Can she accept that her mother did this out of love, or will she hate her for taking away her right to be a mother for over 20 years? Gio won't easily accept this truth either. He grew up with a certain identity, with a family he believed was his blood. But now, everything could be a lie. The mother who raised him wasn't his biological mother, and Lois, the person he thought was just a stranger, was the one who decided his fate from the moment he was born. This could plunge Gio into an identity crisis, leaving him feeling lost and unsure of what to believe. He might become angry with Lois, with Brooklyn, and even with himself for not seeing the truth sooner. Dante can't avoid this shock either. He's had a child for over 20 years without knowing, and everyone close to him kept the truth from him. Dante may feel betrayed by those he loves most. He might be angry at Lois for hiding the existence of his son, angry at Brooklyn for not telling him from the start, and even angry at Lulu for knowing the truth but not telling him immediately. This could cause his relationships with everyone to crack in an irreparable way. As Lois prepares to provide evidence to control the story, she knows no one can avoid the consequences of this truth. Everything will change forever. Brooklyn may lose her trust in her mother, Gio might distance himself from everyone, Dante may never forgive anyone. And Lulu, who decided to reveal the truth, may face the anger of many people. But the scariest thing hasn't yet come to light. If Lois's sister is truly alive, if she's the one who raised Gio all these years, where has she been? And why did she choose not to appear until now? Is she even still alive, or is someone else using her identity to manipulate this story? If this truth is just the tip of the iceberg, what else is waiting to be uncovered behind it? Lois believes that by revealing the story in her own way, she can control the aftermath. But there are secrets even she didn't anticipate. And when all those secrets are exposed, Port Charles will never be the same again. Lois has never been the type to back down from anyone, and this time is no exception. As the truth about Gio is on the verge of being exposed, she knows that she must stand up and fight, not only to protect herself but also to defend what she has kept hidden for over 20 years. And her greatest opponent right now is Lulu, who holds the truth that could disrupt the entire lives of Brooklyn, Dante, Gio, and even the Quartermaine family. Lulu believes that Dante has the right to know he has a son he's never known about. She doesn't care about Lois's motivations or whether Brooklyn is ready. For Lulu, the truth must come to light immediately. But Lois cannot let that happen. She understands better than anyone that if the truth is exposed without control, it will destroy everything in the worst way possible. Brooke Lynn could lose her trust in her, Gio might feel betrayed by the entire family, and Dante might never forgive Lois for hiding the existence of his son. The battle between Lois and Lulu is not just an argument over the truth. It is a confrontation between two strong women, each believing that they are doing what is right. Lulu believes she is protecting Dante's rights, but Lois knows that sometimes the truth can cause more harm than keeping it hidden. But as Lois prepares to protect her secret, she does not expect that another force is entering the game, Tracy Quartermaine and the rest of the Quartermaine family. Tracy never misses an opportunity to control anything related to the family, and when she finds out that a Quartermaine member has been hidden for over 2 decades, she realizes this is the perfect moment to seize power. Tracy has never been fond of Lois, and now she sees this as an opportunity to strip Lois of any power she may have within the family. She doesn't care about Lois's reasons. For her, Lois made an unforgivable mistake by hiding a Quartermaine family member from them. If Gio is truly Edward Quartermaine's grandson, it means he has inheritance rights, a place in the family, and could become an important pawn in Tracy's power struggle. Tensions within the Quartermaine family rise, and Lois quickly realizes that she is facing more enemies than she thought. She not only has to fight with Lulu to control the story but also has to face Tracy, Ned, and even Monica, who may never forgive her for keeping their grandson hidden from the family. But Lois is not about to surrender. If Tracy wants to control the story, she will fight to protect her own interests. Lois understands that if Tracy gains control, Gio could be turned into a pawn in the Quartermaine family power game, and that is something she cannot allow. The situation becomes extremely tense as Gio starts to suspect that something is wrong. He can sense the evasive glances, the secret conversations, and gradually begins to realize that a huge secret is being kept from him. If Gio discovers the truth not from Lois or Brooke Lynn, but from Tracy or Lulu, he may never forgive those who deceived him. A storm is brewing in Port Charles, and no one can escape it. Lois may win the battle with Lulu over the truth, but if she allows Tracy to control the story, everything could fall into the hands of the Quartermaine family. Brooke Lynn will have to choose whether to stand with her mother or accept Tracy's control, and most importantly, how will Gio react when he learns that all those he trusted have been deceiving him for over 20 years? The truth cannot be hidden forever, but who will be in control when it is exposed? Will Lois be able to hold her ground, or will she be crushed in a battle that she started herself? One of the biggest explosions in Quartermaine history is about to occur, and no one can predict the consequences it will bring. Lois and her sister ultimately cannot stay in Port Charles any longer. After the stormy confrontations, endless face-offs, and the secrets exposed, they are forced to leave General Hospital. But even as they leave, the consequences of what they left behind continue to erupt, especially for Gio, Dante, and Brooke Lynn. Lois's departure does not mean that everything is over, it is just the beginning of a new, turbulent chapter. Gio, who has spent his life believing he had a fixed identity, now has to face the truth that he is part of the Quartermaine family, a powerful force filled with power struggles, schemes, and internal conflicts. Lois's departure does not mean his story will end peacefully. On the contrary, Joe's life will change forever, and he will have to adapt to a completely new truth. Brooke Lynn, who spent her entire life believing she had lost her son, now has the chance to rebuild a relationship with Gio. But will Gio be ready to accept her as his biological mother? He grew up not knowing Brooke Lynn existed, not knowing she had ever been part of his life. Accepting the truth is not just a biological matter, it is a matter of trust, emotions, and the connection that has been lost for 2 decades. Dante, who discovered that he has a son he never knew about, faces one of the greatest challenges of his life. He may be a great father to Rocco, but can he do the same for Gio, a young man who has already grown up and has his own life? Dante cannot simply enter Joe's life and expect him to accept him as a father. Gio might feel betrayed, feel like he was abandoned all these years, and even if Dante wants to make up for lost time, will Gio give him a chance? While Lois and her sister have left town, what they left behind remains, and Port Charles will never be the same again. Gio is no longer an anonymous young man, no longer an orphan raised by a family he thought was his own. He is a Quartermaine, he has inheritance rights, he has a place in a powerful family, but also one full of troubles. And that means his future will be full of turbulence. Tracy, who has always controlled everything in the Quartermaine family, will not sit back and watch Gio find his own way. She might want to bring Gio into the family fold, train him to be a true businessman, and make him a potential heir to the Quartermaine empire. But will Gio want to follow that path? Or will he choose a completely different direction, far from his family's power struggles? Lois's departure marks a new turning point, but it also sets the stage for a turbulent future for Gio, Dante, and Brooklyn. No one can predict what will happen next, but one thing is certain. Port Charles will never be at peace, and Joe's life will never be the same again.